Hey gear fans, hopefully you're not getting sick of the heritageaudio preamp drama. I'm kind of getting sick of tired of it, so if anybody's tuning into my channel, you guys probably are getting sick of hearing about it, but this is a bit of a different video. It has more to do with wish fulfillment, manifestation, psychic powers, and intuition. So did that get your attention? I've had a couple times in my life where I've had strong gut feelings, strong intuitions, to the damn near to the point of a voice in my head. I'd say this happened strongly in my life, strongly 3 times, where a voice would come in my head and say a sentence. And at the time, you don't think much of it. I'll just give you an example of that. I was driving and a voice in my head said, I'm not even going to say it. Oh, maybe, do I say? I'll just say some of it. The voice in my head said, people will be sad when Sheila dies. I knew a lady named Sheila. I didn't know her well. But I'm driving and a voice in my head says, people are going to be sad when Sheila dies. Or the lady I know named Sheila died 2 weeks ago. Or I'm sorry, 2 weeks after that had happened, after that voice in my head said, and Sheila wasn't sick. I didn't know her that well, but she wasn't sick. I knew her well enough that I was at her house a few times. But the voice in my head said, people are going to be sad when Sheila dies. Well, this lady died 2 weeks later. That's pretty weird, right? And what does that have to do with me? Well, it spun off some major life. Her death spun off. It changed my life. Long story short, it just changed the cast and characters in this reality, in this universe for me. Absolutely changed my life, for better or worse. So a few times I've had these weird, strong intuitions, and then the rest of the time I'm just some ordinary Joe Nobody schmo. This one I had a gut feeling. Soon as I had my reverb schmozzle with the dude, and he's like, I need to return this. I got that feeling. I didn't have a voice in my head, but the feeling was like, this is going to be a saga. This is going to be a problem. And I've never had that intuition over gear before. In fact, like if a piece of daking gear or something breaks, or I'm trying to think of anything else I've ever had trouble with, it's not a big deal. You just get service. This one, I had that. So I went into this with a bad attitude. So on January 4th, I opened the ticket with Heritage. And I was already like, this is going to suck. This is going to suck. Now, how did I know that? Oh, I didn't, because I never got a hold of Heritage Audio before. I never heard of their track record. So I went into this with like a bad attitude. Like if you read your horoscope and it said you're going to have a rainy, grumpy day, and then so you make it so. You make that rainy, but that's sort of what happened here. Is I get this thing back from the Reverb guy. Reverb gives me $300, whatever they gave me off the argument, and then this guy gets the rest of his money back. But just the repair, I knew there was something in my brain going, this is gonna be a thing. This is gonna suck, to the point that I was like, is this thing cursed? Like, should I just throw it in the trash can, right? And so then, sure enough, the 3 weeks goes by. Heritage passes it off to Rad Distribution, who passes it off to Ericsson Audio, who never gets back to me. Then it goes back to Rad, and then nothing happens for almost 3 weeks. And then I start making sarcastic videos, and the Rad guy the Heritage guy's like, you got a problem with my company, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, yep. So then he gets the Rad guy involved. The Rad guy offers me an RMA the 24th, but only if I take my videos down. And my argument is that they only are even paying attention because I have videos up. So no, it's just a weird thing. So yeah, I totally went into this with a bad attitude. Like I manifested the universe to make this harder than it needs to be. And I don't know why. This isn't typical. I can't even explain it. I just knew this would be a schmozzle. So I've sent this into somebody, and this is not their expert. This is not their, they don't do heritage audio repairs. They've never probably, I don't think they've ever seen this device before. So I was pulling components off of it. I pulled 3 transistors off of it, tested them, pulled a resistor off of it. The only reason I pulled the resistor off because it wasn't diode tested, like it wasn't continuity testing. So I pulled a resistor off too. And then when I tested those 4 components, the best of my ability, they tested fine. So I put them back on. And then you can tell the 4 that I touched versus, factory robot soldered because they look rougher, right? The soldering looks rougher. Well, then I started to find on other boards and other pieces that looked like the pieces that I touched. So I'm like, was there another amateur in here on other pieces? And I mean, my soldering's pretty dang good. I've probably got 1,000 hours in soldering, maybe 2,000. I've done a lot of soldering, but I'm still like, just Joe Nobody, But I was looking at, and I was finding other pieces in there. I was like, okay, this looks like I desoldered it and resoldered it, but I didn't. So has someone else been in here? Who knows? So here's a weird thing, though. When you dig a little bit on gear, what's it called now? Gear Source? It used to be Gear Sluts. Gear Source. You find my story from 2018, but it's not me. It's another person. And the story goes, they shipped this to a friend. It came back. It did the exact same thing that mine's doing. They reached out and no one was getting a hold of them. And there's a few different cases in the Gear Source forums where people gave up on Heritage and Rad. They're like, screw it. Screw it. It was my story, but from 2018. And I did not see that stuff before that I can remember. Who knows? Maybe I did read it before. I've been all through Gear Source, but at any rate, it's just interesting. So, did my bad attitude curse this? If I would have manifested a happy attitude, I was perfectly polite in the ticket to whatever the guy's name is that handled the ticket, and again, I'll reiterate, like, I'm not looking for warranty. I'm not looking for a freebie. They don't owe me anything. It's, according to the serial number, 8 years old. I'm not looking for a handout. I'm not looking for a warranty. I was just looking to have it repaired by, the company. But, and I was just shocked. They were like, I'll have to see if we can find some parts. Like, what are you talking about? You don't have any parts held back? So I will say I don't find a lot of issues online. Like if Heritage had a real quality problem and a real repair problem, you would see it all over the place in the reviews and stuff. I don't see that. So the fact that I've just found a couple, maybe 3 nests on Gear Source of guys rumbling and complaining, and Gear Source is the toilet of the internet. I mean, me and those guys, everybody knows it's a toxic place. We all fight with each other all the time, and you're an idiot, and that guy's an idiot, and I'm an idiot, and everyone's an idiot. Like, Gear Source is super toxic. It's like the locker room for gear talk. Yeah, like if it was a physical place, none of us would have any teeth left. We would just be punching each other in the mouth all day long. But the little nests I did find, it was like the same story. So the resolution for the one guy that had my same device, he'd sent it to a friend's house. The friend sent it back. It didn't work. It was doing the same thing I was doing, which is like you turn this up to 70 or 75 or 80 on the mic side, and it was farting out real bad. His solution eventually was he shot it with compressed air. Now, I can't remember if he just blew it out with air, or if he turned the air upside down where you can freeze it, because sometimes when you freeze chips, they can just magically repair or get better or get different. Anyway, he blew his out and he was happy again. Lucky him. Now, I didn't blow mine out. I guess I could have, but it just seems so weird. It's like, what is it about this device that you can blow it out and it works again? Like, that's weird. But anyway, no, this video is just more about the weirdness of manifesting a bad attitude and letting those negative vibes wrap around a situation. So I'm sure Heritage is mad at me and Rad's mad at me, but you know what, guys? Like I don't care. Like I have every right to make videos. I opened a ticket like anybody else and didn't hear nothing for 2 weeks. Is that a long time? Kinda. Yeah, like I can't let tickets go for 2 weeks in any division of any business I work for. I can't just like ignore a ticket for 2 weeks or whatever it was. And I'm sure like the high up dude at Heritage, the really high up dude, like he doesn't have time for this. He does not have time to play kindergarten. Like he does not have time to like worry about some idiot from Canada who broke his preamp, right? Like he's got namm on the go. He's just released the grandchild. He's got the hairchild. He's got the i73 Pro. He does not have time for this. He delegated this to a ticket guy. So what happened in that too? Like maybe they are really busy. Maybe the ticket guy is so busy that he couldn't get to me. Maybe they have so much fried out gear that he couldn't get to me. And Rad couldn't get to me because they're fixing so much fried out gear. I don't think so. I think it was just, I don't know. The guy, like the Heritage guy, passed the ticket to Rad. Rad did nothing about it. They passed it to Erickson. Erickson did nothing about it. But that's fine. You know, I run a little YouTube channel. I got 200 some subscribers right now. But guess what? I'm not going away. Like, I kind of got it figured out. Every time I make a new video, I get a new subscriber. So I'll just make 1 million videos. Like, I make more videos than you guys see because I can't get them uploaded fast enough. I make 5 a night. So, and this video get old, you know. It'll get old. It'll be a problem, you know. So, it'll be one of those it'll just churn in the system, you know, like, well, what's this guy rambling about? He's got a preamp, he couldn't get it fixed. Yeah, that's the reality. I haven't said anything untrue. So the only untruth I was speaking for a little while is when I was saying that Rad didn't offer to help me. Well, I didn't read the whole email. And I've got a couple redaction videos about that, and I should have read the email better. So yeah, that was bad on me that Rad did offer an RMA. But they only offered it if I take the videos down, which was the next email. But why would I take the videos down? You guys only offered it because I had videos up. You only offered it because, you know. So anyway, I'm getting tired of this topic. The thing is sent off to what I will call option number 1. And if that person can't fix it, then I'll send it to option number 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And I will just keep sending it to people until it gets fixed. Or I will make a very handsome Heritage Audio 500 series flower pot. I'll put dirt in it and I'll grow some nice Spanish plant out the top of it. But yeah, the situation's not going away by any means. Like you're not gonna stop hearing about this on my channel, and I'm not gonna stop making videos. So you know, you probably should have handled that ticket back on January the 4th or whatever it was now. So, yeah. I don't know what else to say about it at this point, except that option number 1 has it in his possession now, and we will see where we go from there. So, and it's all discrete components, like it's like transistors, capacitors, resistors, so regulators, transformers. So yeah, sure, I'm not smart enough to do it, but like there's probably millions and millions and millions of people that you know, ham radio operators and people that repair tube amps and stereos, and this should not have been a big deal, especially not just to sell me parts. Like I was offering to pay for daughter boards and they're just like just crickets, just nothing. So I'll never buy a piece of Heritage Audio gear again, obviously. Like obviously, like come on. You have a problem and this is what it turns into? What a mess. What an absolute mess. And you don't have to believe me on the Gear Source, Gear Slut stuff. You can just go look it up. It's really easy to find the little nests of guys going, yeah, they won't get a hold of me, or they suggested me to Rad, and Rad's not getting a hold of me. Like, You don't have to believe me. You can just go find this stuff online. Again, I will say there's not a lot of it, but there's some of it. Like, guys have had this same situation that I have. But whatever. All right, that's about all I'll say about that. Thanks for watching.